did a French photographer working in contemporary Vietnam reimagine the techniques of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist painters from the 19th century. Originally from Normandy, Réhahn spent his summers in Honfleur, where he still owns a home. Honfleur, the birthplace of Impressionism, was where Monet collaborated with Eugène Boudin, striving to capture the temporality of light and color in their paintings. When Réhahn moved to Vietnam, he was struck by how the color palette in the countryside mirrored the vibrant tones and textural elements originally painted by the Impressionists in the 19th century. He was naturally drawn to the same play of light on fields and the soft blur of lotus ponds, reminiscent of the scenes that inspired Monet and his contemporaries. During the COVID confinement in 2020, the artist deeply explored the philosophies of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist artists, reshaping his vision to blend the timeless techniques of these masters with the colorful landscapes of Vietnam. His latest works pay homage to these influences, interpreting timeless themes through a contemporary lens. How does Réhahn create photographs that look like paintings? His groundbreaking Impressionist-inspired works are known for their painterly quality, reminiscent of layers of paint on canvas. The Impressionists revolutionized art by using thick layers of paint to create an impression of a scene rather than trying to capture it exactly. Their approach celebrated spontaneity, light, and colors in addition to compositional techniques elements that the artist was already using in his photography. The artist couldn't physically layer paint to achieve this painterly effect in his photographic works, but he discovered a technique using heat distortion that mimicked the organic textures found in Impressionist paintings. This process involved precise timing during controlled burns in rural Vietnam, where he captured the interplay of light and smoke to create a canvas-like texture in his photographs. His reflection photographs also work to distort the image through the natural movement of water, which ripples the lines of the subject and creates an impressionistic effect. There are no filters used with either technique, only natural elements. Réhahn's work is also greatly influenced by Japonism, a movement that swept through Europe in the late 19th century. Inspired by Japanese woodblock prints and their emphasis on flattened perspectives, vibrant colors, and the transient beauty of nature, Japonism profoundly impacted artists such as Degas, Cézanne, Van Gogh, and others. The artist echoes the serene simplicity and compositional balance found in Japanese art by utilizing bird's eye views, close cropping, negative space, bold color palettes, verticality. These aesthetic choices harken back to the influx of Japanese prints in Europe in the 19th century, yet they also offer a contemporary reinterpretation by being grounded in photography rather than on a painted canvas. The artist's Impressionist photographs look very different from his other work. Why? Réhahn's fine art career has gone through many phases and inspirations. Each period of intense artistry reveals the artist's ongoing interests in heritage, culture, color, and the convergence of European and Asian art forms. From Vietnam to Cuba, India to Malaysia, Réhahn's lens captures stories woven into the fabric of these diverse places. Réhahn's artistic path began with a fascination for storytelling through portraits. His projects like Ageless Beauty and Precious Heritage explored rural life, echoing the human narratives and vibrant colors that later influenced his Impressionist style. The evolution to the artist's yellow period, inspired by Hoyan's luminous golden hues, reflected a shift towards capturing light and color with a painter's eye. Over time, the palette grew moodier while retaining the essence of Impressionist fascination with light and atmosphere. After completing his monumental Precious Heritage project in 2020, Réhahn turned his focus to Vietnam's artisans. He began to use more abstraction in his work, focusing on the texture of an artisan's fishing net, for example, instead of shooting in a documentary style. This abstraction grew into the textural obsession we find in the artist's contemporary Impressionist photography. It was Réhahn's exploration of Impressionism and Post-Impressionism that reshaped his artistic vision the most. Inspired by Van Gogh's vivid palette, the light-drenched canvases of Monet, Cézanne's shadows, and the compositional techniques that came directly from the influence of Japonism on these artists, he was able to find echoes of these masters in the fields and waters of Vietnam. Effectively, creating a new medium from centuries-old inspirations.